Hi everybody! Welcome to the 2020 Capitol Christmas, U.S. Capitol Christmas tree cutting site. Woo!
Good afternoon. Welcome to the beautiful Grand Mesa, Uncompahgre, and Gunnison National Forests. For those who are watching on Facebook Live, welcome and thank you for joining. My name is Dana Garduno, and I have the proud honor to be the Uray District Ranger for the USDA Forest Service and this year's Master of Ceremonies for the cutting of the 2020 Capitol Christmas tree. Before we begin today's ceremony, I'd like to take a minute to recognize the efforts of our wildland firefighters and first responders who have dedicated their lives to helping others by inviting them to stand. Please join me in a round of applause to say thank you. Christmas is a time of coming together. 2020 has been one of the most challenging years many of us have experienced. So for me, there's no better time than now to have the opportunity to spread holiday joy and share the spirit of coming together here in Colorado with the rest of the nation. So to get everyone in the holiday spirit, I thought I'd share a bit of a twist on a classic Christmas poem by Clement Clarke Moore. 'Twas the day of the cutting when all through the forest not a creature was stirring, not even a tourist. The saws were staged by the tree with care in hopes that the crowd soon would be there. Coloradans were nestled all snug in their beds while visions of Christmas trees danced in their heads. And Chad in his kerchief and me in my cap had just settled our brains for our long winter nap. When out on the forest there arose such a clatter, we sprang from our offices to see what was the matter. Away to the plateau we flew like a flash, hiked over the divide road and climbed over the slash. The sunlight shining on the new fallen snow gave a luster of many a speaker below. I'd now like to introduce our first speaker of the afternoon, Chad Stewart, Forest Supervisor for the Grand Mesa, Uncompahgre, and Gunnison National Forests.
All right, good afternoon. Welcome to the Grand Mesa Uncompahgre National Forest, and we call it the G-Mug because it's just way too much of a mouthful to say that all the time. So welcome to the G-Mug. Welcome to your national forest here. I'm glad to be out here. It's a beautiful day. Appreciate your flexibility because we're going to do this tomorrow, but it's going to feel a lot more like Christmas tomorrow when the wind and snow comes in. So this whole thing started about a year ago. And about a year ago, things were very different. And as you and I both know, the atmosphere we're in has changed immensely. And so it's with great a sense of pride that I want to thank the 2020 Capitol Christmas Tree crew for overcoming immense hurdles, immense barriers, immense changes, almost daily, as we experience today, to be able to deliver this tree today. The Capitol Christmas tree is a great opportunity for us. It's an opportunity for us to highlight the western slope of Colorado, which is arguably where everybody takes their pictures of Colorado, but also to highlight the G-Mug itself and all the services and the benefits that we can offer our local communities. The recreation here is just unparalleled. So first, we showcase this western Colorado. Secondly, we want to talk about our partners. We have a lot of partners here. We're very proud of our partners on the G-Mug. And you can see we've made some new partners for this actual event that's going to be driving across the country. And so it's been an opportunity for us to create new partnerships as well. And we actually know that in order to deliver our mission, we are very dependent upon our partners to do that. And finally, I want to say that this is the start of a journey. This is a journey of a tree that could be a symbol. We have our symbols of the trees, and this symbol I'd offer you is a symbol of unity and hope. Because after this election, I think we could all use a little more unity and hope. But this tree, I hope, will come across the country and spread some Christmas cheer on its way. The hope is for future generations too, as my kids are here watching, that they'll get to experience this year after year as well. So this symbol is about to make a journey across the country, and I hope that you will join us with this journey, that you'll log on to uscapitalchristmastree.com or the GMUG Facebook page, where we actually plan to engage you further in some virtual events and have some fun while we track this tree across the country. So thank you for coming today, and have some fun.
Caring.
Thank you, Chad. And now I'd like to share a message from our acting regional forester, Tricia O'Connor.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us today as we celebrate the cutting of the 50th U.S. Capitol Christmas tree. I am Tricia O'Connor, acting regional forester for the Rocky Mountain region. My regrets for not being there in person today. However, we at USDA Forest Service Rocky Mountain Region have the privilege and honor this year of uniting the public to provide the 2020 U.S. Capitol Christmas tree, a gift from Colorado. This will be the 50th year of the U.S. Forest Service assisting to provide Christmas trees from our national forest for the west lawn of the U.S. Capitol. This tradition of the Christmas tree, or the People's Tree, began in 1964 when Speaker of the U.S. House of Representatives John W. McCormick from Massachusetts placed a live Christmas tree on the Capitol lawn. This tree lived 3 years before succumbing to wind and root damage. And then in 1970, the Capitol architect asked the U.S. Forest Service to provide a Christmas tree. And ever since then, different national forests have been chosen each year to provide the People's Tree. This national forest also works with state forests to provide companion trees that are smaller trees for offices all around Washington, D.C. This year's tree is the 4th Christmas tree that the Rocky Mountain region has had the privilege and pleasure to help provide. And I can't understate this, but we cannot do this alone. This effort is thanks to the continued partnership and collaboration of all the organizations, all the many organizations and companies, large and small, as well as a lot of volunteers locally and across the U.S. who provide vital support in time and resources. This year-long public engagement campaign creates connections to and celebrating our national forests and grasslands. The opportunity brings USDA Forest Service, local and national partners and communities throughout Colorado and across the country to celebrate the spirit of the season and our great outdoors. This year, the 3 million acre Grand Mesa, Uncompahgre, and Gunnison National Forests, or the GMUG as we call it, is home to the abundance of outdoor opportunities to experience your nature. But just some great examples of what the GMUG provides. It's home to the Grand Mesa, one of the world's largest flat-top mountains. It has 4 state-designated scenic byways. 5 of Colorado's 56 14ers are on the GMUG. 3 developed ski areas and countless opportunities for winter recreation. And then over 35,000 miles of trails for hiking, horseback riding, off-road highway vehicle driving, plus 160 developed recreation sites for camping, picnicking, fishing, and more. Your outdoor recreation experience can definitely be found on the GMUG. What a wonderful place. And as everyone is aware, COVID-19 has significantly impacted our lives and our plans, and the Christmas tree has not been immune to that. So the architect of the Capitol actually virtually selected the 2020 U.S. Capitol Christmas tree from several worthy candidates, choosing this year's fine Engelmann spruce tree, which stands 55 feet tall and 25 feet wide, here on the Ouray Ranger District of the Uncompahgre Plateau. Really incredible tree, and I really wish I was there to actually see there and be there with you. But starting on November 10th, the tree will embark on a journey across Colorado and across the country to Washington, D.C. It'll visit 10 communities on its route for a series of outdoor festivals hosted by local communities at fairgrounds, schools, main streets, visitor center, outdoor convention centers, and retailers. Well-wishers will have a chance to take photos, sign banners on the side of the truck, and learn more about the Forest Service and the Gene-Mug National Forest and the great state of Colorado. All these festivities are free and open to the public for everyone to enjoy. In addition to this, over 9,800 Colorado-themed, handcrafted ornaments made by school children, artists, and citizens will decorate the large tree, along with several smaller companion trees that will adorn government offices throughout Washington, D.C. through the Christmas holiday season. Colorado tree growers, partners, and businesses will provide these companion trees. And then during the public ceremony in December, the Speaker of the U.S. House of Representatives and representatives from the state delegation will actually light the tree. So again, thank you for coming today, and really hope this is such a difficult time of year for us with all of the issues around COVID-19, and just really think it's a great opportunity for us to pause and celebrate what's good in the world and really celebrate the tree. So thank you.
Thank you, Tricia, for those words, and we are missing seeing you here today on this beautiful sunny afternoon. Up next, I'd like to recognize all the wonderful folks from Montrose County who have been outstanding partners on this project and have supported us with many hours of hard work and facilities to help make this possible. Here to speak on behalf of the county is Montrose County Commissioner Keith Caddy.
Afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Montrose County and Uncompahgre National Forest. That's how I used to know it, not the G-Mug. We used to run cattle about 10 miles over here at some National Forest permits. But the forest, to me, is a place where you can play, you can work, you can make a living. Land of many uses is what it's called, and I think that's a great thing that we have here in the United States, that everybody can get a good use of this country in this area. I'm so pleased and proud and humbled that the G-Mug and the National Forest Service decided to pick a tree for Montrose County. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Let's give the Forest Service a big round of applause. I hope this tree, in some small way, will bring some unity to the people of this country, especially in Washington, where things are all hectic and hateful, and everybody they're just not getting along. Let's just put it that way. They're not getting along at all. Maybe they can stand around the tree and just for a few minutes or a few seconds, they can leave that away, leave it in the Senate, leave it in the House, leave it in the President's office, and join in peace and harmony, just for a few minutes. And I hope that's what we can give the people in Washington. So thank you so much for being here, and have a great day.
Thank you, Commissioner Caddy. I'd now like to introduce our local District 54 State Representative, Matt Soper.
Well, thank you very much. I'm State Representative Matt Soper, and I also have the honor of serving on the State Tourism Board, and we're also going to hear from Kathy Ritter in a few minutes, who's our Executive Director. But thank you all for coming out today. It's a real honor to have the Captiol Christmas tree come from our backyard, and boy, it's a beautiful tree. 2020 has certainly been a challenging year. From the COVID-19 pandemic to historic freezes to record-breaking forest fires here in Colorado. The records of the U.S. architects show that the first Christmas tree ever to be displayed was also in a similar year to this year. It was in 1919. And that year had been challenging. We had seen the end of World War I, we had seen the Spanish flu epidemic. And there's something about the spirit of Christmas and people coming together that we can fight through because it gives us light in a time of darkness. As we heard in 1964, that's when the public ceremonies began, and then in 1970, the Forest Service and Department of Agriculture took this over, and we're very, very glad that they did. Christmas is a time for renewing faith, spending time with family, and giving and being grateful. I'm very appreciative for so much, for a beautiful state of Colorado, for humanity, for everyone coming together. But it is a world of uncertainty, and we have great challenges, which is why I'd like to read the words of former President, or the late Franklin Delano Roosevelt, who said, "How can we meet and worship with love and with uplifted hearts in a world of fighting and suffering and death? Our strongest weapon is the conviction of the dignity and the brotherhood of mankind, which Christmas Day signifies more than any other day and any other symbol." I hope that this Capitol Christmas tree can be that symbol. It is a great honor to have the 2020 U.S. Capitol Christmas tree come from my backyard. I appreciate that, and I hope many people will think of Colorado and come here to visit our beautiful state. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Soper. And now we have a special message from Alyssa Logan with Senator Bennett's office.
Thank you so much, and good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming out. I'd like to start by saying thank you to the GMUG, to Montrose County, the Forest Service, and all of the other partners that have come together to pull this event off today. I know it's been a little spur of the moment with some of the changes, but that's 2020, right? And it's such an honor to have this tree come from Western Colorado and from the state of Colorado. We're so lucky to have such a beautiful backyard, and sometimes it's easy to forget that, but this is a great reminder of just how lucky we are. And with that, I also have a message from Senator Bennett. Friends, 2020 has been a hard year for our state and the country. From the spread of the novel coronavirus to the economic downturn to devastating wildfires, this year has challenged us all. But through these challenges, many have stepped up and come together to serve their communities. As I traveled the state this year, I heard countless stories about how communities came together to support their small businesses, or how people stepped in with innovative solutions when things seemed bleak. This tree is a symbol of the goodness we can still find during these times. Much like Palisade peaches, this tree is proof that some of our state's best things come from the Western Slope. Be it in the high mountains or across the many valleys and plateaus that define our state's most beautiful areas, our West Slope towns and communities are resilient and independent. But they also foster a deep sense of community and strive for what's best for their neighbors. It is fitting that when our country most needs a reminder of holiday joy, that we should send a tree from this part of the state. The Capitol Christmas tree is a beautiful tradition of the people's tree coming from the people's forests. I hope that as this tree travels across the country, it will bring with it reminders of all that makes this such a special place to live. Sincerely, Senator Michael Bennett. Thank you so much.
Next up, I'd like to introduce Betsy Baer, who's with Senator Gardner's office.
Picture it with me, if you will. The entire family, mom, dad, all the kids in the trusty family station wagon. They're starting their hunt for the elusive symbol that starts the good old-fashioned family Christmas. The family is not hunting at the store, they're not hunting at the tree lot, but rather they're hunting in nature on the forest for the perfect Christmas tree. Thus begins the annual favorite of National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Clark Griswold, played by Chevy Chase, is trying to create the memories and nostalgia of the holiday time for his family. Much like Clark and the Griswolds, at the holidays, our nation seeks for the symbol to embody the memories, nostalgia, goodwill towards men, love, and all the light that this season brings. What an honor it is to think that the embodiment of this time is starting its adventure today and heading to our nation's capital. We, like the Griswold family, are all together to celebrate. Again, we're not at a store or a tree lot or in town. We are lucky to be in nature, on the land set aside for the American people, on the land of many uses, to select this tree and help cut it. It's an honor to celebrate this time of year and to give many individuals, families, and our nation a symbol of peace on earth, goodwill to men, from Colorado to Washington, D.C.
Thank you, Betsy. Now back to our poem. When to what to my wondering eyes did appear but an 80-foot trailer, all loaded with gear, with a little old logger so lively and merry, I knew in a moment he must be Sawyer Perry. More rapid than eagles his swampers they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donner and Blitzen. To the top of Mount Sneffels, to the top of the Grand Mesa tall, now dash away, dash away, dash away to Washington, D.C. all. I now have the proud honor to introduce our guests of honor today, an official cutter of the Capitol Christmas tree, Perry Brandt and Harvey Gray. Before I have them come up, I just wanted to give a little more introduction for Perry. Perry's a third-generation logger and has logged throughout Colorado for over 50 years. Perry graduated from Granby High School before joining the Marine Corps, where he served in Vietnam. After his military service, Perry graduated from Metro College in Denver with a degree in psychology and a minor in history. He says that he likes to use his expertise in psychology on the Forest Service. After college, Perry went into the logging business with his father. Perry has logged for 5 timber companies, including being part owner of Delta Timber Company for several years. Perry was an active member of the Colorado Timber Industry Association and served on their board for over 25 years. Perry is grateful he's had the opportunity to work his entire career outdoors in such a stunning landscape such as the G-Mug, and is proud that he has been able to provide jobs for many men and women in our community over the years. Perry.
You know, this is a real honor for Harvey and I. We've spent our entire life working in the forest industry. And I just can't thank God enough for this special day that we have out here to cut the National Christmas tree. I guess when they asked me to help on this project, the main thing that I was thinking about is over all the years that I've done this, what do you reflect on? And great honor here for Harvey and I. But I thought back on all the guys that taught us how to do this, and keeps spurring us on to keep going after this many years in the woods. And so I've thought back on them, that were all great helps to us. And now that we're starting to finish our careers, we've got a while to go yet, I hope. But at any rate, I want to thank over all the years, all the land managers that I've worked with. We've had a pretty good run. I appreciate land managers immensely because you guys were given the responsibility to take care of our forests. And I'm sure Harvey and I both agree on this. We appreciate the fact that you've been there taking care of the public lands. So I wanted to get that out. Okay, I wanted to get out that I'm done with warm and fuzzy, and so now where I'm at is 40 years ago, I met a landowner, and she had been chasing sheep up and down these mountains almost all of her life, and I was cutting trees on their property, and she was in a sheep herder's hut, standing up about this high, and her son brought me up to meet his mother. And I walked up there, and she looked down on me, and I knew it wasn't good, because she didn't much like me cutting up there on that timber. But at any rate, I walked up there, and she came up to the edge, and she looked down on me, and she says, "Just what is your intentions up here?" Well, I was one of them young, smart guys that had a lot to say, and I was pretty smart. There wasn't anything I didn't know at that time in my life. And I looked at her, and I just took my hand, and I waved like this to the west. And I said, "Ma'am, my intentions are to cut every tree from here to California." Well, this lady looked at me like I was getting ready to get my head served to me on a platter. And then all of a sudden it dawned on her that I was pulling her leg. And she looked at me and just all of a sudden burst out laughing. That was a great moment for me. The other thing I wanted all you land managers to know is that today, and I think Harvey's too, our intentions are to cut every tree from here to California. Thanks a lot. This has been a great day for us.
Thank you, Perry, and I'll have to remember your words of wisdom next time we're planning a timber sale. So thank you for that. As dry leaves that before the wild snowstorm fly, the sleigh crossed Colorado, a state that's mile high. Across the Rockies, the elves they flew, with a sleigh full of trees and ornaments too. And then in a twinkling, I heard on the news, experience your nature, any adventure you choose. As I drew in my head and was turning around, down the highway, Kathy Ritter and Jody Massey came with a bound. They were dressed all in outdoor gear, from their heads to their toes, and their clothes were all branded with Captiol Christmas tree logos. A bundle of sponsors they had flung on their backs, and they looked like hikers just opening their packs. Their eyes, how they twinkled, their dimples, how merry. Their cheeks were like roses, their noses like a cherry. Next up, I'd like to introduce our final two speakers and key partners for the project. First up is Kathy Ritter, the Director for the Colorado Tourism Office.
Well, hello everyone. I had no idea we were going to be treated to so much creativity today. Dana, your poem has been absolutely wonderful. And the invocation of the Griswolds, and then Commissioner Caddy and Representative Soper, thank you so much for putting into context the symbolism of what this day means for Americans. The Colorado Tourism Office is so honored to serve as the state sponsor for this wonderful Forest Service tradition of harvesting a Christmas tree for our capital. In this extraordinary 50th anniversary year, we are so pleased that it's Colorado's turn to share this gift with the nation. And as our Engelmann spruce begins the long journey from here to the Capitol Bond, from the Grand Mesa, Uncompahgre, Gunnison National Forest, those names are so beautiful, I'm not going to say GMUG. It will stop in a number of Colorado destinations, setting off celebrations in each one of these towns along the way. Norwood, Montrose, Ouray, Grand Junction, Paonia, Gunnison, Salida, Denver, and Burlington. We have a Colorado Welcome Center in Burlington. I can't even tell you how excited the town of Burlington is to have this honor. For those who are following the progress of this tree virtually at home, there is a new virtual tree tracker to follow the progress all the way to Washington, D.C. But as the tree stops in these Colorado towns, the goal is to give Colorado residents and others a chance to take pictures, sign banners on the side of the truck, and learn more about the GMUG National Forest and the great state of Colorado. Several of the communities I mentioned are also home to certified Colorado creative districts. So it was only natural when we were invited to help contribute to the production of about 10,000 ornaments for the trees. We turned to our colleagues at the state's art agency, Colorado Creative Industries, and they reached out to two nonprofit organizations, Think 360 Arts and the Access Gallery, and they've worked together to create two tutorials for everyone from school kids to seniors to create ornaments from common household items. So those ornaments will be collected and hung on the Capitol Christmas tree and the companion trees and make their mark on our nation's capital. This year's theme in this year of wildfire and pandemic could not be more relevant in a time when people are truly seeking peace, comfort, and escape in our beautiful outdoors. Here in Colorado, our state parks visitation has been up over a third from last year. Some of the Front Range state parks were experiencing 50% increases in visitation. We saw record visitation in many of our national parks. I think people felt the urge with all of this going on this year to seek that solace in nature. And for all these reasons, it's more important than ever to respect Colorado's natural resources and leave no trace when we're exploring our Colorado wildlands, whether you're a first-time visitor or a seasoned local adventurer. So before you consider your next outdoor adventure, I'm sure I'm preaching to the choir here, I hope we can all join in caring for Colorado and helping keep our national forests and public lands the peaceful, compelling, and extraordinarily beautiful places they are for generations to come. So thank you very much for inviting me here today. Thrilled to be part of this celebration, and wishing you all an early Merry Christmas.
And now I'd like to introduce another very important partner for us on the Christmas Tree Project, Choose Outdoors. And speaking on behalf of Choose Outdoors today is Jody Massey, the Director of Communications and Sponsorships.
Good afternoon, Merry Christmas. I know that you do not want to hear me. I know that you're waiting for the tree to be cut, so it's a good thing I speak really quickly. But we would be remiss if we didn't spend a little bit of time today talking about all the amazing partners everybody's mentioned. And I have the best job in the world, and I get to work with each one of them, so we're going to spend a little time doing that right now. First of all, on behalf of the Choose Outdoors team, we are the nonprofit partner of the Forest Service. We've had the pleasure of working with the Forest Service the last 9 years on the U.S. Capitol Christmas Tree Initiative, and it's been such an honor to work with the entire GMUG team, incredibly talented GMUG team, the staff from the Colorado Tourism Office. Thank you so much for letting us be a part of this unforgettable year. So the tree's journey to BC is just beginning today, but the journey to make this thing happen started a long time ago. And what a journey it's been working with this incredibly dedicated team in a year unlike any other. With so much uncertainty, we actually wondered, could we even make this thing happen this year? And someone in one of our team calls said, you can't cancel Christmas. And that sort of set the tone for us the rest of the year. We tried to get really creative about coming up with ways to still make this thing happen. And we were in agreement, you just can't cancel it in a year like any other. It's more important than ever to create opportunities to bring us together around hope and joy. So here we are together. It's due in major part to the sponsors and partners locally and across the country that have made the U.S. Capitol Christmas Tree Initiative come to life. A project of this magnitude, hey, there's that wind that we planned and shifted for today for coming in, so we'll get this thing down quickly, right? A project of this magnitude simply can't happen without generosity of sponsors and highlights the increasingly important role that public-private partnerships play in building continued support for our public lands. We are so fortunate to have amazing support from organizations such as Colorado-based Apex Transportation, who's been selected as the carrier to drive the tree, 70 companion trees and ornaments safely to Washington, D.C. They have an incredibly sweet ride over here, right? Thanks to Kenworth. This is the branded T680 cab was provided by Kenworth Truck Company. The trailer is provided by Hail Brake and Trailers. The fuel will be provided by Travel Centers of America, and permitting support by LexisNexis Vital Check Network. Steel is providing the chainsaw and safety equipment that will be used for the cutting. Red Wing Shoes is keeping the Sawyer's feet protected today, while equipment from Valley Crane will carefully lift and place the tree on the trailer. Thanks again for moving mountains to get these things here today. Let's give a special thanks to the music today, by You Knew Me When. They're over here. It's actually the same website, so if we could give them a round of applause because they set the tone for the day. There's some flyers in the back if you want to get to know them a little bit more and how to connect with them. We want to say thank you for promotional support provided by 9 News. Cash and in-kind support is coming from organizations including Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, Truckload Carriers Association, Great West Casualty Company, Society of American Foresters, Bass Pro Shops, and SaniServe, to name a few. We're especially appreciative of the support received by both Montrose County and Delta County for the tree cutting today and what is still to come. And beginning November 10th, Kathy just mentioned this a minute ago, but we're really excited as we're going to be bringing the tree to 10 communities for special, socially distant-friendly viewing opportunities. These communities include Norwood, Montrose, Ray, Grand Junction, Paonia, Gunnison, Salida, Denver, and Burlington in Colorado, and then a special stop in Nashville, North Carolina on the way. Nearly 40 organizations are helping to host safe, fun, and festive occasions. So much effort has taken place, and we are incredibly grateful to every organization and individual making this tour happen. A special thank you to Cyrus, who's supplying our team with face coverings and gloves so we can be safe on the road, and Vesmir for ensuring our team is amply prepared to travel safely throughout Colorado and across the country. If you're in these communities, definitely stop by and see us and sign the banner and wish the tree well. And you can check out the tour schedule at uscapitolchristmastree.com. If you aren't nearby, don't worry, we still have so many ways that you can take part. Thanks to returning sponsor Spirion, you can follow the tree in near real time and in real time online at capitoltreetracker.com, in addition to getting to know the 10 communities hosting events and special places throughout the forest. Photos and videos of the journey will be posted daily on both the GMUG and the U.S. Capitol Christmas Tree social media accounts. Specially themed, this is something brand new this year we're really excited about. Specially themed frames designed for social media profile pictures will be offered, so you all can frame your photos through the U.S. Capitol Christmas Tree Instagram and Facebook pages. Another really cool thing we've never done before, a virtual mosaic. We'll invite people to submit individual photos that together will create one big picture. Photos on Instagram and Twitter tagged with Experience Your Nature will be included, as well as an online option to submit your photos. This showcases that no matter where we are or where we are, we're all in it together. As we are today, we will live stream the tree lighting ceremony on the West Lawn in December as well. And an extra plug right now, we actually couldn't stream today, and you wouldn't have cell phone service if Verizon hadn't helped us out. They've got a tower up, so we're able to do this today. So we want to thank Verizon for making this happen for us. Last but certainly not least, we are really thrilled to announce that we are going to be filming a very special Christmas episode of the national TV series America's Forest with Chuck Leavell. It's being filmed as a part of the special epic year. Chuck, you may know him. He's the musical director and keyboardist for the Rolling Stones. He's also an avid conservationist and tree farmer. We're very fortunate he's going to be with us here in Colorado, along with the talented film crew, 42 Degrees North Media. We can't wait to share this special episode just in time for the holidays. It's going to air on Rocky Mountain PBS on December 17th, and then we'll be streaming live, available online after that. So in just a little while, we're going to cut the tree and it's going to hit the road. And one more special plug from our friends at the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, that when you're on the road this season, be sure to drive carefully around trucks, especially this one that has such pressured cargo. We want to make sure it gets safely to our nation's capital. And with that, thank you so much. Thanks for bearing with me. I think I might be last and it might be time for the big deal. So Dana will come back up, and Merry Christmas. Thank you.
Thank you, Jody. Let's finish up our poem and get to the main event. Now the cranes, their cables were drawn up like a bow to load the tree on the sleigh and get ready to go. The cradle held the tree tightly in its teeth, and the banner, it encircled the tree like a wreath. The drivers, oh how they were so bright and jolly, spreading Christmas joy while singing "Deck the Halls with Boughs of Holly." Over 4 million miles of road time they were experienced, old elves, and I grinned when I saw them in spite of myself. A wink of their eyes and a twist of the head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread. Their team spoke not a word, but went straight to their work and drove the tree right into D.C., then turned with a jerk. And laying a finger aside of their nose and giving a nod, up on the west lawn the tree rose. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all went like the down of a thistle. But I heard them exclaim as they drove out of sight, "Happy holidays to all, and to all a good night." And now for the moment we've all been waiting for, the cutting of the 2020 Capitol Christmas tree. For those who are here, if you'd like to get a better view of the tree, if you would just make your way over back that direction behind the yellow, green, and red flags, we'll be cutting the tree momentarily. Thank you all for coming.
So thank you all for joining us. This is Lawrence and Kim will be on the road. These are some of the ornaments that our artists and children have created using various supplies. Look at the creativity. Little smoky sleeping bags. I'm Lawrence Lujan. I'm with the USDA Forest Service. I'll be on the journey with my colleague Kim Phillips. This is the truck from colorful Colorado to America's capital, the 2020 U.S. Capitol Christmas tree. You can hear the saws in the background. This is a special device that was created to secure the tree, and special thanks to our Colburn Job Corps Center and the students there for getting this all ready for the journey. Thank you, thank you. Look at that beautiful Engelmann spruce, over 80 years old, hovering 55 feet. Let us know where you're joining us from. Jump in the comments. Tell us your name, where you're from. Tell us how you experience your nature. There's Mr. Perry and Harvey. All right, the time has come. pass it off to his partner. Sharing is caring. And there we go. Now it will dangle for just a little bit. The crowd is cheering. I am seeing the likes and the hearts. Thank you so much for experiencing this with us. Thank you for joining us. Now we will place the tree on the trailer and wrap it and get it ready for its journey across Colorado and across the country. Welcome we have folks on from Dolores, Colorado. Yes, Timber. Nicole, thanks for joining us. Georgetown, Texas, thank you, Roy. Brittany, thank you. Paul, welcome. Hi, Lynn. Jump in the comment box, folks. Let us know how you've experienced your nature this summer. When you go out there, please remember to recreate safely and responsibly. Yes, Nicole, I agree. The poem was awesome. We'll make sure and post that on our website so you have that. Also, folks are inquiring about the tour. The tour is available online on our website, uscapitalchristmastree.com. Click on the tour tab. Welcome, Jan from St. Paul. Welcome, Carolyn and Anna Marie. Welcome from Michigan. Louisville, Kentucky. Welcome, Rita. Yes, Brittany, we will definitely post the poem. It was wonderful. Alrighty, folks. Well, this concludes our ceremony. Thank you so much. We'll catch you on the road. Have a great evening. Be safe and take care.